Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. As most of you are aware, and I've been posting videos of it lately, Rhodium has been breaking records in terms of its price, and it is over $10,000 an ounce as of the recording of this video. But the buyback price is $1,000 less. But should I sell the bar? Well, no, the answer is no. I'm not going to sell it. And why I'm not going to sell it, it will be the topic of today's video. Yes, rhodium is quite an interesting metal. It is part of the platinum group metals. And I acquired this particular bar when rhodium took a big price drop, under $1,000. In fact, it was, I think, around $700 when I bought this particular bar, but I paid $1,100 for it. So huge premiums. Baird and Company is the first to produce bullion versions in the form of bars. Now, there was another company called the Cohen Mint that created little rounds, little small 10th-ounce rounds, I believe. And there's been another a dragon, I think a snow dragon, or that was produced, and it's available through Kitco. And those are the first coins that were made of rhodium. I missed out on those because those were offered over $2,000 an ounce when they were first offered, and have since gone up quite an amount, obviously, considering rhodium's massive spike in price. And so the question that when I posted videos about this particular bar is, why don't I sell it? I could sell this thing and grab a bunch of gold. Well, the reason is simple. It's a pretty basic, but it just goes to show you that where kind of my heart is, and that is as a collector. I've always kind of wanted an example of each of the metals that were available in bullion form, and even not so much. I also have a little bit of tungsten. I posted a video of my full tungsten stack, and actually, believe it or not, there were quote bullion pieces made from those as well, as part of the exotic metals that are out there. But the platinum group metals are fascinating in and of themselves. I don't have an example of osmium or iridium, and I would love to get examples of those too, but they're quite pricey as well. But rhodium has been on a tear. If I would have bought two of these, and I'm sure certainly would have sold one of them, but the question you have to ask is, with the price going up so much, what could I get back for it? You know, are they going to give me the bid price? The bid price is $1,000 less than the ask price. If I was to purchase this bar, the price above the ask price would have probably been at least $400 or $500. So the fact is that, yes, I would have gained a lot of money by buying this, but would I have been able to get $4,000 out of it? And what dealer would take it back? Who would buy this bar? That is a good question, and it's maybe a question that can be asked to some dealers out there. I've not taken the time to do so, but I may, just out of curiosity, to see if a place like APMEX or any other major bullion dealer out there would consider taking on rhodium. And having the risk of buying it at such a high price and turning it around and selling it to make a profit. My guess is that it would be very risky for them because it is such a fringe. In fact, it's the fringiest of the what I refer to as the fringe precious metals, meaning that, they're so volatile and so rare that there's some places that won't even touch it because it's just there's a very little market for it. And because of that very narrow market, I decided to buy this, realizing, that the price was lower than certainly usual. And if I did need to sell it in a hurry, I might be able to find somebody who would buy it from me for $4,000, let's say. Possibly somebody may take that risk, but it would probably have to be literally take half of spot for something like that in order for them to take on the risk of holding such a piece. But rhodium is an interesting metal, but it is at the mercy of the market from which it's traded. And where are you going to find a place? If I live close to Baird and Company in London, who knows? They might buy it back. Who knows? But at the price to jump up and spike up so fast and so quickly with this metal, who's going to want to hold it? And who's going to buy it? Who's going to buy rhodium at $10,000 an ounce? Certainly I wouldn't. Even at $90s, even at $9,000 an ounce, I'm not a buyer of rhodium at that price. But I am a collector, and because of that, and I will hold on to it. I may call around just to see what, or if at all, they would take the bar, but my guess is they probably won't touch it. And even if they would, I wouldn't sell it. Now, the next question will be, well, at what price would you sell this bar? That's a very good question, and if I needed to get rid of it, even now, I know I'm going to take a huge hit in terms of the present spot price, but I may double or triple. Well, obviously I would double. I'm sure somebody would buy it off of me for $2,000-$3,000. But if you need to sell in a hurry, you're going to take whatever you can get for it. Now, at this point in time, I don't need to sell it. It's the only example of the metal that I do have. So, at what price point would I sell it if somebody offered me, let's say the price gets up to $15,000 an ounce, and somebody offered me spot for it? That would be tempting, but as a collector, I'd be losing out on my only example of rhodium that I would have in bullion form, in a way, since taking from my collection, which is worth more to me than a stacker gain on the metal. Yes, I could buy more gold with it, which is good because gold is the most stable of the precious metals out there and is the best hedge against economic instability and is recognized worldwide for its value. If I could get the full spot price for this bar, I could buy a considerable amount of gold for sure. But what is my point where I would sell it? If it got up to $20,000 an ounce and somebody offered me spot price for it, would I sell? I don't know. That's double the price it is now, and even as such, I would still have to think about it. Now, I know there's some viewers out there who are watching this saying, what are you talking about? How can you refuse if somebody were to give you $20,000 for this bar to even think about that? Yes, I'm weird, I know. But there's a collector aspect of me that is there, that is very strong, and it goes beyond price. It's having an example of something just because of what it is. That's part of what collecting is about. There's certain coins in my collection, and even some that I carry in my pocket, that I would be at a high, that would take a lot to convince me to trade even for an ounce of gold, even if it's an ounce of silver. But there's something about collecting and what that means to some people. And this is an occasion where, in this particular case, I can always say I have an example of rhodium. And if the price goes back down to $2,000 an ounce, or even $1,000 an ounce, I can always say, hey, I had a metal that at one time went up to $10,000 an ounce. Rhodium is a very volatile metal. It doesn't trade like other metals in the markets. And so it's because of that, it's going to move one way or the other. And the marketplace understands this, and this is why some people don't want to be holding, some bullion dealers don't want to be holding this metal. But again, it's untested, at least in my specific case. I've not called any of these bullion dealers to ask them what they would give me for it, but I may do that sometime when I get an extra time. Or if you want to call, I'd be curious to see what you get from somebody who may say, well, wait, would you buy an ounce of rhodium? They may say yes or no. They may say yes, but we're going to take a lot less than spot. even the less than bid price. There was one viewer here who did buy some of those Rhodium dragons and took a big hit on the off of spot price, even though he made probably doubled his money on them, but he took a lot less than even bid price on those. So there you have it. That is why I will not sell this 1 ounce Rhodium bar. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for watching and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.